Today is all going to be about your mental health. I believe mental health is so important. I believe a lot of us don't check in enough on our mental health. So I set the intentions for this reading to give you clarity on your mental health, and so you can get some nuggets on how to go about life in a better way if your mental health is a little jacked up, But anyway, anywho, we're going to get started with this reading. And cast your gaze at the following 5 piles. Now, which one is your intuition guiding you to choose? So for pile number 1, for those of you who chose this red ball, number 7, this is going to be all about your mental health and your advice. Let's get started. So for you, pile number 1, what I see so far is that you are trying to put on a happy face. You are trying to act like you're not hurting right now mentally. It's like you may be getting over a breakup or getting over a heartbreak, and it's like you're going around the world trying to act like you're happy, but deep down you are still sad. Deep down you still feel that darkness within you, even though you try to put on a smile. Now, I do see that you may be on a new journey in your life, so you may be like having ups and downs with that, and you're on this new path, so it's like it's a scary road because you just don't know what lies ahead. But I just see that your mental space is trying to move forward, but your mind and your emotions is keeping it from moving forward, from getting onto this new journey, because what I see with the 3 of Swords and the 5 of Cups reversed is all about you're not happy, you're somewhat depressed, and it's like you're putting on a happy smile to make it seem like you're okay with those around you, but you're truly not. And I believe once you start to understand these feelings, then the new journey would start to be clear, and you'll start to really see where you're going and get more excited about it and be more happy about it. But it's like, even when you get advice from people, even when people try to cheer you up, it's like it's going through one ear and out the other. I would say for your mental health, you really have to clarify, why are you so heartbroken, and what are you harboring onto from the past that got you feeling sad, that got you feeling like you can't be authentic and tell people your truth. So I would say open up. Like in any type of way, you have to open up to understand why this is happening, because mentally and emotionally you are kind of going through it. Now for your advice is all about being your authentic self. You have to express your authentic truth, for one, because that's probably why you're not in the place that you want to be right now, because you're not being true to yourself, being true to your feelings, being true to some of the thoughts that created your reality right now. You have to be true to yourself and call yourself out and really face yourself at this time and be your true authentic self, because like I said, mentally and emotionally it's matching up with the disappointment and it's matching up with the sadness, but that's not what life is. So it's time to do some digging to really understand where these feelings are coming from, and knowing that that's not authentically you. And it's like you've been holding on to it for some time now, but it's time to start seeing where some of these things come from, so you can start being authentically you. Because because the like I was saying on the advice, from these advice, it's just saying that when you start working on this authenticness, if that's the right word, things are going to start to change, because it seems like things aren't moving, projects aren't getting done, your head and mind, your heart and your mind is out of whack. It seems like you're working so much for that dollar, but you forgetting about your relationships. It's like you're just focused money, 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 because maybe that's what is dampening your spirit so much, because you're putting a high importance on money right now. And it's like you may be struggling with that, but it's like it just seems like you're just working for your bank account, but forgetting all about your projects and your relationships and what your heart wants and how you truly feel. So, pile number one, I hope you enjoyed this reading. If you did, give it a thumbs up. If you didn't, leave a comment. Let me know, So, in the meantime, I'm going to move on to pile number two. Chose pile number two. Thank you for coming to my channel. And look at here. I just noticed this. You guys must be in sync. So I'm really hoping that these cards that come out gets in sync with the aura, the energy, the whatever. So for you, pile two, I see that you are going through a little bit of road blockages. Your mental health right now is focused on, and I'm proud of you, it's focused on doing the work that you feel like you were born to do. Your focus right now is really trying to put together how to make things and your dreams and things that you've been feeling inside and your intuition been pulling you towards. You're trying to figure out how to make A, B, and C work all the way to Z. Get your coin, which is a good thing. But the thing that concerns me about you guys so far is that your heart and your mind is not in balance. It's like your heart is saying one thing and your mind is saying another. And it's like you haven't planted or seen growth of the things that you want to create and the things that you are trying to incorporate into this material world, I should say. But it's like you have to get your heart and your mind back in balance, because it's like it's two sides of you fighting. And I experienced this myself, where one part of me wanted this and the other part of me wanted that. And it was like on two different opposite sides of the world. So then it comes to, which one are you going to listen to? And for me, what I had to do is I had to realize that I have to open up my heart chakra, and understand that I have to listen to my heart and allow my mind to create it, manifest it. But it's important to listen to your heart, because if you continue to listen to your mind, that ego is going to take hold, and then your heart chakra is going to be blocked. So I believe that right now it's like you have to come to this balance of your heart and your mind, because you're receiving an injustice in the world because of that in some way. And that may be because of your job, because you're sticking with a job that you know that it's time to go from, or it could be anything, because I don't want to go into detail. You're receiving injustice because your heart and your mind is not in balance. So it's like attracts like. So it's like that's the energy that you're holding onto. So your heart and your mind is not in sync with one another. And it's like, you know what you want to do with your life that you were born to do, but it's like you're not having faith. You haven't planted the seeds. It's time to plant the seeds. It's time to water the soil. It's time to see the flowers grow. So it's time to really check in with your heart and really check in with your head and get them two squared away. Now, for the advice, what I see is that you are so eye on the prize that you are missing a lot of details that are trying to show up in your life. It's like you're so focused on the goal that you're not seeing the rest of the world around you. And it's like, it's kind of like you're blind in a sense, because you're so focused and you don't realize that You don't have to shoot for perfection and keep sacrificing yourself for the goal. You are good just the way that you are, and you don't have to keep punishing yourself in the way that you are. You're not perfect. And it's time for you to set some new rules, set some new standards for your life, and really break all rules and really come up with the rules that you wanted to go by in your life that feels good to you. And really come to this place of knowing that you don't have to be desperate for money. You don't have to be desperate for these jobs. These jobs should be grateful to have you. You bring value to the table, and you have to start seeing that value and really start working on that value. And sometimes we don't see how good things were and how good life is until we get to a place of failure where we just feel horrible, and then we're like, oh, I could have appreciated this so much more, I could have appreciated that so much more. And I feel like the advice for you is to really start seeing the blessings in this world and not being so desperate for the money and so focused on the goal where you're not even planting the right seeds, because you have to have faith to grow that seed. And I'm gonna leave it there. If you liked this video, give it a thumbs up. If you didn't, leave a comment, let me know. But in the meantime, I'm gonna move on to pile number 3. I hope that you have a great, outstanding day. Check out my other videos, but if not, I'll see you next time. Bye. What's up, pile number 3? Thank you for coming to my channel. If you chose this ball here, that actually adds up to number 3. So it's like, numerologically, you are synced up. So we're gonna pray that this reading is synced up, which it probably will be. So in the meantime, let's get started. Hey, pile number 3. So what I am seeing so far is that for your mental health right now, you recently went through a big transformation and it shook up your world, and you probably cried and you probably felt sad. And, now you are on the other side of it, but you haven't fully grasped it yet. And when I say grasp, I mean like you haven't fully accepted, you haven't fully expressed it, you haven't fully got to the right foundation mentally that Spirit wants you to get to. And it may be because you're holding on to these rules or negative teachings from your parents, or certain types of rules in religion, or you're holding on to something that Spirit is trying to get you to see that it's time to make up your own rules and do the things that feel good to you, and get you to realize that you don't have to follow every rule. You can follow what's best for your spirit and what's best for you, and put a death to the old you, because that's not you no more. And you do not have to continue to try to be someone you're not, even if that person was you 5 years ago. And this was a lesson that I had to realize not too long ago, that I am not the same person as I was 3 years ago. So I do not have to hold on to beliefs and systems that was in place for me 3 years ago that doesn't apply today. And I think why I couldn't come to terms with it as fast as I did was because it was like, oh, I believed so hardly in this years ago that I'm gonna look like a fool if I backpedal and be like, I'm a different man. But that's not backpedaling. One thing about life that I heard is that are you fully gonna know yourself? Because if you're constantly changing and you're constantly learning, which we're all here to do, the world is constantly changing, we have to adapt. One thing is that you're not going to be the same. The world is going to change you. And the worst thing that you can do, advice that I heard from Caroline Mays, is that the worst thing you can do is get put into the ocean, which is the world. You get put into the ocean and you just clench on to a rock, scared to go this way, scared to go that way. And it's like, you can't do that with life. Life sometimes puts you through things to change you. And I feel like that's what Spirit is trying to say and speak to you today, is that, yes, you went through X, Y, and Z, but now it's time to really set the right foundations that is built on what you want in your heart, not what your ego wants, not what your parents want. What do you want in your heart? I hope I pointed to the right area. Work with me now. But it's like, you got to make up rules that apply to you now and put a death to the old you and the old thoughts and the old beliefs, because they're not you no more and you feel it. That's why you feel like you're not at mentally at the right place that you want to be at right exactly now, is because you're still holding on to some of those things. Now, the advice that I'm seeing for you is that you have to slow down. You have to stop feeling like you got to do everything in one day and trying to prove yourself to other people by trying to show your worth and your love and trying to do this and that for people, and just running yourself crazy trying to prove your worth to others. You don't have to work yourself to the bone just to prove your worth, or give 1,000% of love when they're only giving you 100. Put some balance in and start to see that some of the things that you are trying to expand to, it's like you are passionately blocked. And what I mean by that is that, like, what's blocking you from fully living in the beauty that you're meant to live in? It's like you can see where you want to go, but you're blocked. It's like your passion for it is not aligned. Spiritually, you're not aligned. And maybe it's because you're trying to work so hard to prove yourself to others. And you don't have to do that. You really don't. You know where you want to go. You see it, but you don't have to try to force so hard, because I see that you're forcing it and it's not even going the way that you want it to go. And I really believe it's because you have to tap into this creative feminine power, whether you're male or female, really align with this creative energy of just nurturing yourself, nurturing your creations, and being passionate about it. Something from the past is blocking you from seeing your full potential now. But I hope you enjoyed this reading. If you did, give it a thumbs up. If you didn't, leave a comment, let me know. Check out my other videos. I'm grateful that you even stopped by today to even, get a check-in, because who doesn't want a mental check-in, But talk to you soon. Bye. What's up? What's good, everybody? For those of you who chose pile number 4, which is this red ball here, this is going to be all about your mental health. This is going to give you some insight of where your mental health is currently and some advice. So for you, what I see is that it is time to mentally, and you may feel it too, that it's time to step out with a bold vision and really start trucking along what you're meant to be doing in life, because it's like you got all the tools, you got all the accessories, but it's like you're just sitting there. You got this mechanical horse that is built on technology that could probably run as fast as any other horse, or probably even faster, and it's like you're just sitting there. So it's time to come to a truce with yourself, because mentally Your heart and your mind is in balance. And unlike some of the other piles that this card came out for, it was in the reverse. But with you, it's telling me that you already know. You already set up the tools. You already got the technology. But you stopping yourself because of this. You mentally are critiquing yourself and not being authentic. You have to be authentic. Fuck what somebody else gonna say. Fuck what your parents think. Fuck what your best friend think. What do you think about what you want in your life? Because it's gonna come a time when you 100 years old and it's you laying on that deathbed and you looking like, sorry to sound all morbid. Is that the right word? I hope that's the right word. But it's gonna come a time when you 100 years old and you gonna wish you would have did something. Because I personally believe God frowns upon when we go through life and we are stagnant and we know what we want to do, but we stop ourselves because of fear. We stop ourselves because we're scared of judgment. I feel like that's really frowned upon. And I feel like right now, you got everything. Everything is really balancing out and you have the tools and you already created something. But you have to come out with a bold vision to be authentically you, because it's like at this moment, you not putting yourself out there is making a bigger hole for you because you don't feel fulfilled. You feel like you're going to get judgments. So you don't put yourself out there, which is internally you critiquing yourself, you being hard on yourself, you not loving yourself truly, because it's like God has truly blessed you with a stable heart, a stable mind, some tools, but it's like you are stopping yourself because you're critiquing yourself so much. And it's because you have a strong mind and in the advice column, I'm seeing you have a strong, powerful mind, but you have a problem on critiquing yourself and feeling like you're not perfect and feeling like it's not good enough and feeling like nobody's going to like it and just getting sores and just hurting your heart. When it's like the advice is to let that go. You have to really stop critiquing yourself and realizing that you have a powerful mind and you have to flip that mind so it can work out for you. So stop worrying about other people, because I see that it's time, also in your advice, that it's time to face certain things that you've been locking down within your soul. And I see that you are starting to face them, and I see that you are starting to look at them and work on your shadow self. So I'm just saying, continue, because there's going to come a time when that shadow, when you're working diligently on that shadow, you're going to start creating things that gives the truth of life. Those moments of me really rethinking everything and those moments of me realizing what I truly want helped me really discover the lies that are in this world and the lies that we're taught at an early age. And it helped me to really start putting the truth out there. And I feel like that's what's going to happen with you, is that you're going to eventually start putting the truth out there once you start seeing your authentic truth and seeing the better aspects of you, in a sense, because right now you're critiquing yourself. But once you stop that, you're going to be able to express the truth. And so many people are going to be able to connect with you because we all go through the same thing. It's just that none of us like to really talk about it and relate on that level. So I just feel like it's things that you're going through that's like really dark right now. That's going to help you get to see why you've been so hard on yourself and critiquing yourself. And once you get to that other side, baby, you're going to speak your truth and you're going to release it. and you're not going to look at other people's grass as greener. You're going to see your grass as green and make sure you keep fertilizing that motherfucker. What's up, what's up, what's up for all of you who chose pile number 5? Breathe. I don't know why, but it's relaxing, blessing that we all take for granted. I don't know why that just popped in my head, like when I turned on the camera, it was just like, breathe. Make sure to tell them to breathe. And maybe that is a sign of relaxation that you guys got to go through, or start some breathing techniques. I don't know. But let's get some clarity on your mental health right now. One more card for the advice. Oh, 2 more cards came out. What the fuck y'all got going on? All right, cool. I think you're shooting for success, but there's still some work to be done, which is understandable. Okay, let's mentally. You're strong and you've been putting up boundaries, and that you have a strong mind of where you want to go. But you don't feel that it's ever the perfect time, that you're ever at a perfect place. You don't feel like there's the creations you make are perfect, that there's perfect time. Like, you just always feel like there's something that is a blockage to what you're trying to do. And I understand it, because sometimes when obstacles and blockages came, I just was like, oh, I'll do it tomorrow. And that tomorrow came to next year. And I kind of get a sense of you're kind of doing that too, where it's like you're putting off because things aren't perfect, but things are never going to be perfect. It's never going to be the perfect timing. So now it's time for you to get your mental strength together, because you have a lot of mental strength. And it's time to really stop looking for the perfect time and stop being so cautious with life. It's like you have these strong ideas and this strong mindset, but it's like you get cautious before you put it out. So you don't put it out because it's not perfect timing. It's not the perfect lighting. It's not the perfect crew. It's not the perfect this. It's not the perfect that. Fuck all that. You are being too cautious with the judgment in reverse, because it's trying to get you to this new place in your life, but you're being too judgmental on yourself and on your creations, and you're being too cautious. It's like you're scared. Scared of people's reactions, how people are going to view you. Well, I know I had to battle that, so don't let me speak my nush on you. But anyway, it's time. Your advice is you have to become good enough. You have to feel good enough. You have to possibly find a teacher that can help you, in a sense. You that saying where it says you can go fish for the man, but if you teach him how to fish, then he has yada 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 amount of years to go get his fish himself and not be so reliant on you getting his fish. Hopefully you follow me there, that basically you have to learn how to get your stability. And you have to learn how to stop being so shy and start planting new growth for your life. You have to start planting new seeds and stop being so shy and timid and get out your comfort zone. And you have so much confidence, and I'm proud of you, but you ain't showing it. It's like the confidence is there to like 80%, but that 20% of that negativity, you let rule your life. And it's just saying, people see your confidence. You just have to start owning it. And it doesn't take much work because the Sun card is all about happiness. All you have to do is start feeling it within yourself and get over whatever has happened in the past. Something has happened in the past, maybe, yeah, from your childhood. It's not even no maybe. Somebody from your childhood said something to you, did something to you that made you feel worthless, that made you feel like you didn't matter because you just not putting yourself out there. And I feel like it came from your childhood, and that's why nobody can heal you from this but you. Even if somebody gives you compliments all day long, it's like nobody can heal you but you at this moment, because this happened years ago, years ago, years ago. And this is why you're being so cautious. This is why you're feeling like things are never perfect and never the right way. It's because of something that you've been running from, and nobody can heal you but you. And I feel like once this is healed, it's going to flip all this over, because these are some good cards. The only reason why they're in reverse is because you're still dealing with something from the past that has hurt you and diminished your confidence. It might have been your parents. I think you'll get through it. I know you will.